Hi everyone, it's Cherry. Today I want to talk Nintendo Direct 2022, the first one of the year. So, it's not an official announcement, but if you follow the past Nintendo Switch Directs, then it's pretty likely that we're gonna have a new Nintendo Switch Direct coming in February. Some people believe there's gonna be a Direct around the 17th of February. We can't tell, we can just only let us be surprised. I hope they announce it soon and that there's gonna be a Nintendo Direct in February. Well, as I said, this is very likely to happen. Nonetheless, I just want to talk about what I want for the Nintendo Direct in February, because there's gonna be a lot of huge announcements, I guess. And there's a lot of things that I want to see in the Nintendo Direct in February 2022. For example, we have a lot of games being released in 2022, but we don't have we don't have specific dates when they are gonna be released. One example is Breath of the Wild. So first of all, I would really want from the Nintendo Direct in 2022, from the first one we're gonna have this year, that we're gonna get some more information on what's actually gonna happen with Breath of the Wild 2 and when it's gonna be released, because we are not really sure if it's actually gonna be released in 2022. We are hoping for it, but we don't have an official release date and we don't know how far the development is. There is a lot of things happening in the development of Breath of the Wild 2, but we're kind of kept in the dark. We didn't see much of the gameplay yet, we didn't get many pictures, so I hope that Nintendo will announce a lot more about Breath of the Wild 2. Of course, the official title, that they all let us know what it's called, not only the sequel to. Other thing I really hope for is that they're gonna tell us more about the story and that we'll be able to play as Zelda this time. That would be so awesome. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but please, Nintendo Direct, tell us that we're gonna be able to play Zelda. That would be so awesome. So I know that Kirby and the Forgotten Land is being released in March anyway, so it's not too long anymore from it's not too long till we actually get our hands on Kirby the Forgotten Land. We had a couple of trailers, we saw a lot of gameplay, as you can see in the background now. We don't need too much, honestly, because if they show us more pictures, then if they show us more of the gameplay, then we actually know the whole game. There's a lot of things that we see in the previous game trailers, like for example the little cooking game thing, and we see a lot of the map in the trailer as well. So we don't really need too much more information about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's coming out in March anyway. This is a very personal preference. I really want to see another announcement of a Story of Seasons game. I know this hasn't been talked about in any way in September at the Nintendo Direct, but I really would love to have a new Story of Seasons that is a little bit like the old Harvest Moons. I mean, Pioneer of Olive Town was quite alright, but I think there is a lot of things missing in the gameplay, and I really hope that they're gonna give us a new Story of Seasons. Like if you in the olden days played Harvest Moon before it got taken over by a different company, and then we have Story of Seasons who are the original ones. I really want to have something that is more like Animal Parade. That was such a good game, and I want a mixture between the Animal Parade and the old Harvest Moon that you could get for like Super Nintendo, because it was so much more to it. It had a lot more charm, and I want that back. And Animal Parade, the good things about them were like you could befriend just anyone, any animal, and interact with them. I loved that. And as well, your kids would grow up in Animal Parade, and then you were able to take over the lives of the children of the second generation, and they could get married to other children in the neighborhood that the first marriage candidates had. So that would be really cool, and I hope this is gonna be an announcement that's happening in the Nintendo Direct. I don't know how likely it is, but it will be cool. So what else do I want from the Nintendo Direct? I want that there's gonna be an announcement of another Pokemon game. Yes, we just got blessed with Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'm not gonna lie, this is such a good game. I wanna make a review about it. I know we've just been blessed with Pokemon Legends Arceus, just recently been released, and everybody is really hyped about this game, and it's no surprise. But I want a 9th generation of Pokemon, and when do I get it? So in the Nintendo Direct, I want to hear that the 9th generation of Pokemon is coming into a video game. I'm not really sure how likely is this gonna be that they're gonna release another Pokemon game just after Pokemon Arceus being released, but we just had Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl just before Arceus, so the chances are, since Pokemon Legends Arceus is kind of like a spin-off from the main game series, that we actually have another Pokemon game coming up that is from the main series and not a spin-off, though I gotta say Pokemon Legends Arceus doesn't feel like a spin-off. But I gotta say Pokemon Legends Arceus is probably exactly what we want a Pokemon game to look like. Of course there's a lot of improvements, but it doesn't give us a 9th generation. It has new Pokemon, yes, but they are all like ancient forms of our generation 1 to 8. So that would be great if we get a nice generation of Pokemon, because I can't wait for catching more diverse Pokemon. Another thing that is on my personal wish list for the Nintendo Direct is I want a new Professor Layton game. And now I don't want a Catrio spin-off or something like that. I want a new Professor Layton game for the Nintendo Switch, which takes advantage of all the new functions that we have with the Nintendo Switch. And Layton was such a good puzzle game on so many different Nintendo handheld systems. So we really need a new Layton. It would be so awesome, and this is just a personal favorite of mine that I would love to see. Don't we all think it's time for a new Mario Kart? Like, Mario Kart 9 should have already been out there, in my opinion. Like, yes, I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but honestly it's getting boring to do the same tracks over and over and over again. Yes, the online community is still kind of strong, but we all need some new tracks, a little bit more new gameplay, honestly. And with Mario Odyssey, we had the introduction of a lot of interesting characters that could be easily transferred to Mario Kart 9, so we have new races. That would be so cool. I really want new tracks, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe really, like, anyone who played Mario Kart 8 didn't see much of a difference. Like, it's getting boring to play the same tracks all over and over again with your friends, because by now everybody knows all the tracks by heart. So please give us a new Mario Kart 9, and I hope this is gonna be announced on the next Nintendo Direct. Let's talk Bayonetta 3. At the last Nintendo Direct, we had the announcement of Bayonetta 3, a game series which has a lot of people captivated. Bayonetta 3 seems to be an awesome game, and it's highly anticipated, but we didn't get much to look at. We have this little announcement trailer. They showed us a couple of scenes from the game on the Nintendo Direct in September, but honestly it didn't give us much. Like, we saw one big monster that we have to fight, and we saw some moves of Bayonetta, but we really don't know what else is in this game. So I would like to have more information on Bayonetta 3 also. Do we have like online play? I don't know. I think Bayonetta 3 has a lot of potential and I hope we find out more at the Nintendo Direct that's hopefully coming up in February. I know my list is long. There's a lot of things I would like to see on the Nintendo Switch. Like Nintendo Land. This was such a good game for Wii U and it was so much fun to play with your mates and friends and family. Like, it had so many good games on there that I really loved, and a lot of people loved it too. And recently there's been so many people asking for like a Switch version. Okay, it's gonna be a bit more difficult because with the Wii U, because with the Wii U you had the separate screen and then you saw it on TV. And with the Nintendo Switch, this is not really possible because you gotta dock the Nintendo Switch to be able to see the picture on the screen. We would like to see a different way to play Nintendo Land, and it doesn't have to be exactly like the Wii version. It would be really lovely to see some game that is similar, because Nintendo Land was a lot of fun, and not having a sequel, this is really something Nintendo is missing out on. Like, people really loved this game, and a lot of people are asking for a new version of Nintendo Land that is playable on the Nintendo Switch. Last but not least, I want the announcement of a Nintendo Switch Pro. Yes, we've all been hoping for years for a Nintendo Switch Pro, and we know it's very unlikely that one is coming, because back then when the Nintendo Switch OLED was leaked, people thought, oh, a Nintendo Switch Pro is coming, we are all so happy to have a Nintendo Switch Pro soon. No, we didn't get that. We didn't get 4K, and we didn't get basically better performance. So all we have is a bigger screen in OLED, where a lot of people were worried that there's gonna be a screen burn because of the OLED. But we didn't get anything that we actually asked for or that we wanted. So hopefully there's gonna be an announcement of the Nintendo Switch Pro. Something that has 4K, something that's a bit stronger and has a little bit more power. Is this likely? No, I don't think so, because we are kind of halfway through the life cycle of a Nintendo Switch, official sources. It's more likely for us to see a next generation console after the Nintendo Switch in a few years from now than it is to see a Nintendo Switch Pro. But I can still hope for it, can't I? We can still all dream. What else is on my list? A lot. I want to see a lot from Nintendo, because since I have the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, honestly I was a bit disappointed by what the Nintendo Switch has to offer. We don't have that many exclusive games, and all the games that we have that are exclusive are kind of a little bit outdated. Yes, we get a new download content for Animal Crossing, which is a really good one. I'm not saying there's not a lot of titles coming out, like we have heaps and heaps of on February 11 alone. Still, I think Nintendo has to up its game to be really able to compete with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Yes, Nintendo Switch is the most sold console at the moment on the market, but this is only because it's portable. So we have other people that are playing portable handheld consoles, and since it's dockable, we also have people who used to play Wii U. All them people is combined. And also the Nintendo Switch, since it's been released before the pandemic, far before the pandemic, we had not a shortage of Nintendo Switches, so we were free to buy them. With PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, the problem is still that a lot of people can't even get them, though they would love to buy the Xbox and the PlayStation 5. But with the Game Pass that the Xbox has to offer, with all the exclusive titles that the PS5 has to offer, as soon as this whole shortage stops, I don't know if the Nintendo can still compete if it doesn't announce a lot of big things. We also want to see huge new titles. We want to see big improvements with Nintendo. Good job that you had Pokemon Legends Arceus exclusive. But give us more Nintendo, because the competition is not sleeping, and the Steam Deck is gonna be released soon as well. It's ready for shipping in February, end of February. Not to Australia though, unfortunately, so I still have to wait. Nintendo, we wanna see big announcements in the upcoming Nintendo Direct, and hopefully you can deliver. So thank you everyone for watching, and don't forget to subscribe or comment what you reckon is gonna be happening in the next Nintendo Direct. I would love to know and hear from you. Stay sweet.